Deep within the vast expanse of the galaxy, the Galactic Council gathered for an emergency meeting. Delegates from countless star systems filled the Great Hall, each wearing robes or armor that reflected their homeworld's traditions. Their voices rose in heated discussion about one shocking report. A new human warship had been spotted near the frontier. Rumors claimed it looked unlike anything the galaxy had seen before, and it was powerful enough to challenge the Council's most advanced fleets. A hush fell over the chamber as Counselor Xera, a tall being with shimmering scales, stood at the central podium. Her bright yellow eyes scanned the assembled delegates. "Fellow members," she began in a firm yet measured tone, "we have all heard the stories about this human vessel. Our intelligence suggests that it possesses weapons beyond standard technology. We must decide how to respond, and we must do so quickly." At the back of the hall, Ambassador Theron from the Orion sector listened closely. He represented one of the smaller powers in the galaxy, often overlooked by the mighty Council. Before this moment, humans were seen as a minor race, absent from important negotiations. But now, everything had changed. Theron's antennae twitched with excitement and worry. He whispered to a colleague, "If humans truly have a new warship, it could disrupt the balance of power we've known for centuries." Across the galaxy, on a distant planet called Theros Prime, a battle-scarred fortress buzzed with activity. Inside, human officers hustled through metal corridors lit by bright overhead lights. Their faces showed determination and fatigue. They wore dark uniforms bearing an insignia of Earth, which many other species believed to be an insignificant, war-torn planet. But in reality, humans had been busy. Hidden from the Council's gaze, they had developed something remarkable. In the fortress's main hangar stood the HWS Aegis, the rumored warship that sent shockwaves through the galaxy. Its hull was forged from a mysterious alloy, giving it a sleek but intimidating appearance. Sharp angles and strange, glowing lines hinted at advanced energy systems. A team of engineers in matching gray coveralls worked under the ship's belly, attaching final modifications and double-checking readouts. Alarms chimed softly, and tool sparks danced across the floor. Watching from a nearby platform, Captain Naomi Reyes folded her arms, a faint smile on her face. She was tall and carried herself with quiet confidence. Dark hair framed her steady brown eyes. She had overseen the Aegis's construction for the last 5 years, guarding its secrets with her life. Now that the ship was complete, she felt both pride and a heavy responsibility. If all went as planned, the Aegis would be Earth's signal to the galaxy that humans were no longer a small player. Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Marcus Hale, approached with a datapad. "Captain," he said, "all systems are green. The Aegis is ready for launch. Our scouts confirm that the Galactic Council just heard about our project." Naomi nodded. "Then we can't delay. The Council will likely send observers or, worse, a blockade. Our orders are clear. Show them what we've created, but only if necessary. We don't want to start a war." She paused, glancing at the ship's dark exterior. "But we won't be pushed around anymore." Hale's eyes flickered with uncertainty. "We've come a long way from the ruin Earth once was," he remarked. "Let's hope we can handle the consequences of revealing this to the galaxy." Meanwhile, on the outskirts of Theros Prime's atmosphere, smaller human corvettes patrolled the skies. Their pilots watched for any sign of approaching Council ships. One pilot, Ensign Lion Kim, felt a jolt of excitement every time she thought about the Aegis. If the rumors are true, she thought, we might finally have a chance to stand equal with the great galactic powers. Back in the fortress's command center, flickering holographic displays tracked known alien fleets across the sector. A technician called out, "Captain Reyes, we've spotted an unidentified cruiser. It's holding position at the edge of the system." Naomi's expression hardened. "No council member has announced their arrival, correct?" "None." "Captain," the technician replied, voice tinged with nervousness. "They're just watching." Naomi exchanged a knowing look with Hale. "They must be here for the Aegis. Let them watch." We won't hide anymore. At the same time, in the Galactic Council's Grand Hall, Councillor Xera concluded her speech. A swirl of debate erupted among the delegates. Some argued for immediate action, perhaps seizing or destroying the human warship before it became a threat. Others suggested diplomacy, uncertain whether the humans might actually be valuable allies. The Emperor of the Aurelian System, a powerful faction within the Council, demanded more intelligence. "We must see this vessel with our own eyes," he roared. "Send envoys to Earth, or wherever these humans are hiding." Watching from a side bench, Ambassador Theron felt a surge of curiosity. If humans had truly built a ship that could rattle the Council, it was worth seeing up close. He decided to quietly gather information. Perhaps the Orion sector could benefit from this shift in power. On Theros Prime, sirens wailed as Captain Reyes gave the final order to power up the Aegis. Engineers and crew members rushed aboard, strapping into stations on the bridge, in engine control rooms, and near weapon batteries. The warship's thrusters glowed a deep orange, casting eerie shadows along the hangar walls. Cranes and scaffolds retracted, clearing the path for launch. Naomi Reyes settled into the captain's chair on the Aegis's bridge. Around her, screens and holopanels lit up with data. She could almost feel the hum of the reactor beneath her feet. Lieutenant Hale stood at a console, checking final diagnostics. His voice was calm but excited. All compartments sealed. Reactor stable. We are go for takeoff. A wide viewport at the front revealed the hangar doors sliding open. Bright sunlight flooded in, and beyond lay Theros Prime's rolling deserts. Naomi pressed a button on her armrest. HWS Aegis. This is Captain Reyes. Liftoff approved. Let's show the galaxy what we've been working on. Massive thrusters roared to life, and the Aegis lifted gently off the hangar floor. Dust and debris scattered, swirling in the wake of raw power. Crew members inside felt a tremor in their seats. For a moment, the entire fortress shook. Then, with a final burst of flame, the ship soared into the sky. Up above, the unidentified cruiser in orbit registered a sudden energy spike. Its sensors locked onto the rapidly ascending warship. Aboard that cruiser, a robed figure leaned forward in the captain's seat, eyes widening as the Aegis cleared Theros Prime's atmosphere in seconds. This was no ordinary vessel. It looked strong, agile, and built with technology the Council had never documented. The figure activated a comlink. "Send word to the Council. We have visual confirmation of the rumored human warship. It's real, and it's powerful." As the Aegis reached low orbit, Captain Reyes saw the cruiser's silhouette against the star-studded background of space. She knew it was likely a spy for the Council or another empire. Yet, the humans had prepared for this day. They wouldn't run or hide. Instead, they would step forward and prove that Earth's legacy was not dust in the wind. Naomi's voice carried over the ship's intercom. "We are not alone. Keep weapons on standby, but do not fire unless they engage us. Our mission is to show we stand proud, and that we're ready to defend ourselves if needed." Somewhere in the bright constellations, the vast Galactic Council waited, unsure of what the humans' next move would be. The fall of Earth's old colonies had once marked the decline of humanity's place among the stars. But now, with the HWS Aegis blazing through the heavens, a new chapter began, a rise that could reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. Aboard the HWS Aegis, Captain Naomi Reyes and her crew settled into the tension of deep space. Outside the large, reinforced windows, the endless blackness stretched on in all directions, speckled with distant stars. The unidentified cruiser still held position several kilometers away, quietly observing. Sensors reported no signs of aggression, only continuous scans. Captain Reyes watched from her command chair, her posture calm yet alert. Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Marcus Hale, stood at a nearby console, reviewing the latest sensor data. He cleared his throat. "Captain, the cruiser appears to be a small recon vessel. Minimal weapons, moderate shielding. It's definitely not a full Council battleship. Reyes nodded. They're playing it safe, which makes sense. They'd want to watch us without provoking a fight. The bridge hummed with quiet efficiency. Panels glowed as officers monitored the Aegis's power levels, weapon modules, and navigation systems. The ship's gravity flux engine pulsed in a hidden chamber below deck, an innovation born from humanity's centuries of secret research. The Aegis was no ordinary warship, and soon the galaxy would see why. Suddenly, a soft beep echoed from the comm station. The operator turned to Reyes. "Captain, the cruiser is transmitting a request for dialogue." They identify themselves as the HWS Tarsus, affiliated with the Galactic Council. Shall we respond? Reyes's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. She exchanged a glance with Hale. Yes, patch them through. Moments later, a holographic projection flickered to life at the center of the bridge. A tall, slender alien with pale blue skin and 4 delicate arms appeared. A council emblem glowed on the left side of his uniform. His black eyes glistened with uncertainty. "This is Commander Zealous of the HWS Tarsus," he said in a formal tone. "We greet you on behalf of the Galactic Council. We wish to open a peaceful channel and learn more about your vessel and your intentions." Reyes leaned forward, her image mirrored in the holographic field. "Commander Zealous, I am Captain Naomi Reyes of the HWS Aegis. We do not seek conflict, but we will defend ourselves if threatened. Our goal is to announce humanity's return to galactic affairs, nothing more." Zealous paused, his 4 arms crossing one another. Humanity was believed to be in decline for centuries. Yet this ship suggests otherwise. The Council will have many questions. Reyes maintained a level stare. "We're ready to speak. However, we prefer a neutral location if the Council wishes for a formal meeting." Zealous inclined his head slightly. "I will relay your request. In the meantime, the Tarsus will remain at a distance. We do not wish to intrude upon your space." With that, the hologram vanished. The comm station fell silent. Around the bridge, a few officers exchanged looks of relief. No violence, at least for the moment. Far away, in the sprawling capital of the Galactic Council, a monumental edifice known as the Celestial Forum teemed with activity. Delegates, ambassadors, and envoys raced to compile the fresh intelligence from the Kuvera sector. In the heart of this grand structure, Councillor Xera paced across a polished obsidian floor, listening to frantic updates from her staff. One advisor, a tall, crystalline being with iridescent skin, spoke quickly. "Commander Zealous confirms the human ship is larger than expected. Preliminary scans indicate advanced reactor output and unusual shield harmonics." Xera's eyes flashed with worry. "We must be cautious. If this human vessel truly outclasses our standard fleets, that could destabilize the power balance. But we cannot overreact. The Council stands for unity, not panic." An aide approached with a data tablet. "Counselor, we've received multiple requests from other species to investigate. The Hegeran Alliance, the Skrell Ambassador. They all want a say in how we handle the humans." Xera sighed. "Of course they do. Everyone wants a piece of new technology. Organize a diplomatic conference, somewhere neutral. If the humans agree, we'll host a summit to discuss terms. It's better than another arms race." Back in Earth's secret fortress on Theros Prime, activity continued at a feverish pace, even with the Aegis gone. Engineers and scientists hurried between workshops, refining designs for additional ships. The Hidden Fleet project was no longer a rumor, but a reality. And the humans needed more than one impressive warship to ensure their future. In a private lab, Dr. Isabel Carter, no relation to Naomi, ran tests on a small fusion coil that glowed with intense white light. One of her assistants carefully monitored readouts, ensuring the coil didn't overheat. Since the Aegis departure, they had already begun developing the next generation of gravity flux engines, pushing the limits of what even the humans believed possible. A tired smile tugged at Dr. Carter's lips. She recalled the old days on Earth, when the planet was ravaged by wars and environmental crises. Humanity had nearly extinguished itself, but instead they fled to hidden colonies, determined to rebuild in secret. Now those hidden efforts bore fruit, but it also meant stepping into the glare of galactic scrutiny. Meanwhile, on the HWS Aegis, Commander Zealous paced through a narrow corridor lined with alien inscriptions. The presence of the Aegis weighed heavily on his mind. The ship's readings suggested remarkable defensive capabilities, possibly exceeding those of the Council's own battleships. Zealous thought back to the brief conversation with Captain Reyes. She seemed calm, unwavering, and proud. He tapped his personal comm link, connecting to a private channel. "Transmit my findings to Counselor Xira," he said. "Inform her that the humans seem open to peaceful talks, and advise caution. If we misjudge them, it could end badly for everyone." A chime acknowledged his request. Zealous continued down the corridor, grappling with one question that nagged at him. Why reveal this ship now? On the bridge of the Aegis, Captain Reyes met with Lieutenant Hale and the rest of her command team for a strategy session. A faint hum from the gravity flux engine filled the silence as they gathered around a large holotable that projected galactic maps and known Council ship movements. Hale pointed to several blinking icons. "We have intelligence that the Council may call for a summit. That means we could be invited to a neutral space station or planet soon. Do we accept?" Reyes studied the map, lips pressed in thought. It could be a trap. But if we refuse, we look hostile. An older officer, Commander Eugene Drake, chimed in. "Taking the Aegis to a neutral zone will expose it to further scans. They'll learn more about our tech." Reyes nodded. "Yes, but open dialogue might be the only way to avoid a confrontation that we can't handle alone. Besides, we built the Aegis to stand on its own. If they push us, we'll be ready." No one in the room doubted that statement. The crew had witnessed the Aegis's trial runs, immense firepower, resilient shields, and surprising maneuverability. However, the galaxy was vast, and the Council had resources that dwarfed a single ship, no matter how advanced. "All right," Reyes decided at last, her tone decisive. "We'll wait for the Council's offer. If it's reasonable, we'll attend. For now, maintain our position. Let the Tarsus watch us. Our actions will speak louder than words." In the quiet void around Theros Prime, the Aegis and the Tarsus drifted at a cautious distance. Every so often, a cluster of cargo vessels passed through the system, giving the warship a wide berth. Word began to spread. The humans are back, and they are not weak. Traders, pirates, and frontier colonists alike whispered about a new era dawning. Some believed the Council would find a way to coerce or dominate the humans. Others suspected the humans had prepared for that possibility all along. On Earth, now a closely guarded sanctuary of lush forests and rebuilt cities, broadcast networks discussed the Aegis with growing excitement. Images of the vessel's sleek silhouette flashed across screens, stirring hope and concern in equal measure. After centuries of hiding, humanity stood at the brink of a grand reveal. Yet, lingering questions remained. Would the Council truly allow a new power to emerge without resistance? Would the humans' invitation to peace be accepted, or would old fears drive the galaxy into conflict? In every corner of space, ambassadors and admirals watched the unfolding situation. They knew well that when the Council was stunned, it often acted with unpredictable force. Behind the Aegis's reinforced hull, the crew readied themselves for whatever came next. Captain Reyes sensed that their simple decision to hold position and wait was already shaking the foundations of galactic politics. A single human warship, bold and confident, had cast ripples through the stars. No one could guess how large those ripples would grow. A week passed in tense anticipation as the HWS Aegis maintained its orbit near Theros Prime, watched constantly by the HWS Tarsus. Across the galaxy, diplomats, admirals, and trade guilds debated the sudden appearance of humanity's powerful warship. In the heart of the Galactic Council, confusion turned into cautious optimism when they received a direct message from Captain Naomi Reyes, agreeing to attend a neutral summit on one condition: the safety of her crew and ship must be guaranteed. Counselor Xira, the appointed overseer of the summit, worked day and night to prepare a secure meeting site on Atlas Station, a large orbital platform perched between disputed star systems. Normally, such gatherings took months to arrange, but the Council recognized that this moment demanded swift action. A wave of excitement and anxiety rippled through the Celestial Forum. For the first time in centuries, the Council was unsure if its technological superiority could keep a new power in check. On Atlas Station, neon lights and polished metal corridors gleamed beneath a transparent dome that revealed a panoramic view of swirling stars. Dozens of alien species arrived in small craft, each hoping to catch a glimpse of the rumored human warship. Hollow rumors circulated. Some claimed the humans had discovered ancient artifacts that granted them near-infinite energy. Others insisted they had allied with a hidden empire. No one knew the truth. Amid this storm of speculation, Commander Zealous from the Tarsus paced along Atlas Station's central promenade. His 4 slender arms folded in a gesture of worry as he awaited the Aegis's arrival. He carried a data tablet loaded with Council protocols, negotiation outlines, security procedures, and details about the human request for guaranteed safety. We can't fail now, he thought. This summit must bring peace, or the entire galaxy could be thrown into chaos. Moments later, a massive shadow fell across Atlas Station's main docking bay. Through the dome, everyone could see the HWS Aegis approach, its engines glowing a low, steady orange. Hushed awe spread among the gathered spectators. The warship's sleek form contrasted sharply with the blocky silhouettes of standard Council vessels. Every angle of the Aegis seemed purposeful, radiating confidence. Slowly, the Aegis aligned with a docking clamp. A hiss echoed through the station as airlocks connected. Spaceport lights flashed green, signaling a secure attachment. Then the outer doors slid open. In a designated greeting chamber, a modest crowd of ambassadors and Council officials formed a semicircle. At the front stood Counselor Xira, elegantly dressed in a shimmering tunic that matched her scaled skin. Next to her, Commander Zealous tried to maintain composure. Behind them, various delegates from smaller systems craned their necks, eager for a first-hand glimpse of the rumored humans. Captain Naomi Reyes stepped onto Atlas Station's deck, flanked by Lieutenant Marcus Hale and 2 other officers. Each wore a sleek, dark uniform, with understated emblems that paid homage to Earth and its hidden colonies. Reyes carried herself with quiet dignity, her gaze steady and measuring. It was a stark contrast to some Council officials who shifted on their feet with nervous energy. Counselor Xira greeted them, voice amplified slightly by station speakers. Captain Reyes, on behalf of the Galactic Council, welcome to Atlas Station. We hope this summit will bring clarity and, if possible, unity between our peoples. Reyes offered a polite nod. We appreciate the invitation. Humanity has no desire for war. We only want our sovereignty recognized and our innovations respected, not feared. There was a pause as officials exchanged glances. Some seemed puzzled by the humans' straightforward demands. Others looked relieved. Commander Zealous quietly admired Reyes's calm, remembering his first conversation with her. She's earnest, he thought. We might truly avoid conflict if we handle this carefully. Over the next hours, closed-door talks took place in a circular conference hall. Council delegates and human representatives debated trade rights, boundary lines, and the exchange of technology. The Council pressed gently for details on the Aegis's advanced reactor, but Reyes and Hale remained non-committal, offering only general information. They explained humanity's long road from near extinction to secret development, a journey fueled by survival rather than conquest. Tension flared when a hot-headed delegate from the Hylian belt demanded that humanity share its gravity flux engine schematics with the Council. In response, Lieutenant Hale firmly stated that the technology was humanity's safeguard after centuries of vulnerability. The argument threatened to derail the talks, but Counselor Xera stepped in, calming both sides. We should not repeat the mistakes that caused the humans to hide in the first place, she reminded everyone. Day turned to night cycle on Atlas Station, yet negotiations continued. News of the talks leaked to the public, prompting scattered protests outside the docking bay. Some feared the Council would bow to this new power. Others believed the humans were the key to defending smaller worlds from pirate attacks or expansionist empires. For every critic, there seemed to be a hopeful voice celebrating the possible end of the Council's stagnant control. At last, in the final session, Counselor Xera presented a draft agreement. Recognition of human space. The Council would formally acknowledge territories where humanity's colonies and strongholds existed. Limited technology exchange. Humanity would share certain advancements, particularly those that could benefit peaceful exploration, while retaining exclusive rights to their gravity flux engine design. Mutual non-aggression pact. Both parties agreed not to deploy force against each other unless in self-defense. Open diplomatic channels. A permanent ambassador from Earth would be stationed at the Celestial Forum, and the Council would place an envoy within human territory. Captain Reyes reviewed the terms with her advisors. Commander Zealous watched her expression closely, sensing how critical this moment was. Finally, Reyes stood and addressed the Council representatives. We accept these terms, as they respect our sovereignty and our decision to protect our key technologies. We pledge to uphold our part of this agreement and work toward a stable galactic community. A gentle chorus of relief filled the room. Officials hurried to sign documents, while Counselor Xera leaned back in her chair, exhaling slowly. This is a moment we'll remember, she thought. Today, we acknowledge that humanity is not a minor race, nor a foe to be crushed. A few hours later, in Atlas Station's public atrium, the official announcement was made. News feeds beamed it to every major star system. The human warship, once considered a threat, now symbolized a potential alliance. Pirate groups and hostile factions might still test that alliance, but for the moment, hope overshadowed fear. Commander Zealous accompanied Captain Reyes and her officers back to the Aegis's airlock. Your presence has already changed our galaxy, he said quietly. I believe we have avoided a terrible war. Reyes nodded, her tone reflective. We have a lot of work ahead, learning to trust each other, building true partnerships. But at least we have a starting point. They exchanged a respectful salute, and the humans returned to their legendary vessel. Watching the airlock doors seal shut, Zealous couldn't help but feel a surge of optimism. The Council had never faced such a challenge with such a potentially peaceful outcome. Once aboard the Aegis, Reyes and her crew received updates from Theros Prime and Earth's hidden colonies, all celebrating the new treaty. Though the future held many unknowns, possible betrayals, lurking enemies, humanity stood on stronger ground than ever before. Their warship had stunned the galaxy, and their words had calmed it. With a final authorization from Captain Reyes, the gravity flux engine roared to life, and the Aegis detached from Atlas Station's docking clamps. It drifted into open space, thrusters igniting in a graceful arc. Council ships, both large and small, gave it a respectful distance, acknowledging it now as a recognized force rather than a rogue threat. As the HWS Aegis vanished into the starlit distance, its legacy remained, woven into the galaxy's unfolding story. For the first time in countless generations, humanity had returned not as a broken fragment of history, but as equal players on the grand stage, bold enough to design a warship that stunned the Galactic Council, yet wise enough to pursue dialogue over conquest. And so, a new era began among the stars, one shaped by the gentle hum of an advanced engine, the echoes of ambitious negotiations, and a hard-won realization. Sometimes, a single warship can change the fate of countless worlds if guided by courage, vision, and the unwavering spirit of those who refuse to be underestimated.